My PlayStation Vita froze.
If in doubt, reboot.
That's what tech support says about computers.
And that's one of the first things to try with the frozen PS Vita. Hold down the power button for around 30 seconds while the screen goes blank, then hold down the power button for 5 seconds to bring it back up.
How do you hard reboot it?
It doesn't have an easy way of doing that.
I'd be interested in any way to do that.
The PSP Go is a closed system, but it isn't as hard to get the battery out of a PS Vita.
But you're implying it isn't as easy as taking the battery out of my smartphone to fix it. And void the warranty.
No, though letting it discharge and then recharging it is a distant second.
Very distant, given how long that takes.
Don't take out the memory card, though, since this could corrupt the data files.
It is hard to imagine making things worse, but that might be one way of doing so. What else can I try?
I'm assuming it didn't freeze because it overheated.
If the unit was too hot in my hands, I'd know what was wrong.
It could overheat because you left it on the dashboard of a car too.
It has been sitting in the closet.
I'm assuming that the reason it isn't working is because of a software glitch, though I can't rule out that it is not responding because you haven't charged it.
I've charged it.
If you get it working after letting it charge and reboot, my first suggestion is deleting the game that made it freeze up and then reinstall it.
And then reboot, because it seems like everything else needs it.
Depending on how old the PS Vita is, after you reboot it by holding down the power button for 30 seconds, you get options like restart the PS Vita system, rebuild database, format memory card, restore or update.
So which options do I want to do?
Normally, the best choice is to update the software, especially if it tried to do so previously and failed. If that doesn't work, select to rebuild the database.
I've heard that sometimes it freezes and you can't just restart it.
I've heard of people randomly hitting buttons and getting it to restart.
The home button and R shoulder button and power button should get you to the menu that lets you select to restart or rebuild, but that's not random. It only looks that way.
If you rebuild the database, you may still need to update to fix the issue. There were games that caused it to freeze in 2014 every day until the update made that a weekly event.
Then I need to upgrade the game or play something else.
Wiping the Vita is convenient in that you don't lose all your saves or have to re-download games, but formatting the memory card may be necessary, especially if a database rebuild didn't work.
If I get to the PS Vita equivalent of Format C, I'm calling tech support.